Hello, and welcome to another video. I would like to tell you guys about Plantmania. This happened in January, but I'm just now talking about it. So I would like to start with talking about the tickets. They were really easy to get. You just go into their website, you click if you want the VIP tickets, which were 40 bucks, or if you want the regular tickets, which were like 12 bucks. Just add them to the cart. They also had little workshops and classes that you could do. I think the classes were free, but the workshops were extra charges. I didn't do those, nor did I get VIP, because I wasn't really sure how it was gonna be. The VIP gave you early access to the plants, and then like gift bags and coupons and stuff like that. There was a snowstorm, and they kind of switched up the days so everyone could go in on Friday, and there was early access on Saturday, and then normal access on Saturday, and no Sundays. Originally it was supposed to be early access on Saturday, then everyone else on Saturday, and then everyone can go on Sunday. But they swapped the days to allow for 2 days for the sellers, which was really nice. But people were upset about their VIP, but I wasn't because I didn't pay for it. I'm part of the Raleigh Plant People Facebook group, and so many people went with the VIP, or they went on Friday, and they bought so many cool things. I was really jealous looking at it, but I was so excited to go myself and see what they had to offer. So let's get into the actual event. I loved it so much. It was absolute plant heaven. It was really packed. Felt really chaotic, especially for me. I don't really know that much about plants. I know, being a horticulture major, you think I would, but I actually don't know much. I know more about like taking care of landscapes rather than houseplants, and I'm more about designing rather than like everything else with it. And this was definitely houseplant paradise, which I am just a beginner in houseplants, but I really do love them. And I really love going to this event. There's so many people selling so many different things, from big plants to small plants, common plants, plug plants, tissue culture plants, super rare plants. It was insane. I loved every second of it. I just really like looking at plants. And I didn't really know what to expect budget-wise going in. So I set myself a budget of $60 because I brought cash, and 24 of that went to tickets for me and my boyfriend. But I did go slightly over budget, just a little bit, but it wasn't too terrible. As soon as I got there, I decided to just take a lap, take pictures of things that I liked, things that I want to get or add to my wish list plant list, which I'm slowly growing. I actually noticed I have a lot of pink plants, which seems to be my favorite. Pink and then like texturally interesting plants are definitely my favorite. I also found some plants that I need the names of for my plants that I already have, so I also took a picture of that. I was very deliberate with what I bought. Pretty much a plant noob, honestly. Even though it's been 4 years of me owning plants, I've never actually done any research into caring for my plants besides just like sun, water, dirt, that kind of thing. Like, I'm not really sure how to properly mix dirt mixes or how to properly water or fertilize or anything. I just kind of think if they can survive me throwing water on them every week and a half or so, it should be fine. This is not actual advice. This is just what I do. I'm sure there are plenty of other people that will tell you the proper way to do it, but not me. So what I did end up getting was these plugs that were 10 for 2. And I got some new plants that I've never really tried. I've never actually owned any alocasias, so I'm very excited to take care of those. I'm filming this end of February. They're gonna come back early March, and everything is still alive. The only thing that's looking bad are my carnivorous, but I've never actually been good at taking care of those carnivorous. But I did buy 3 carnivorous plants, 25 for 3, which I thought was a pretty good deal. I also found it funny. I bought from 2 different places. One place had these deals, and then the other place I bought a ZZ plant, which I found for 20 bucks. But I found it funny. The 2 places, they were actually the same name. One was just bigger plants, the other was just plugs. So I actually just bought from the same seller twice, which I didn't even realize. I did do some plant research before, and I knew that for my graduation gift, I wanted to get myself a Raven ZZ, which I'm very pleased to say that I found. Now that I've given you my little rundown and shown you some pictures that I took, let's get into the repotting of all of my new plants, and then I will give you an update on how they are 2 months later. The first thing I did was toss out some old dirt. I would throw it outside, but we are on the 3rd floor, so didn't do that. And I cleaned all of these pots that I had lying around. Here's all the different things that I used to repot my plants. I didn't use all of these, but I did use a lot of these. The thing I use most is the peat moss and the perlite. Then I got to the fun part of unpacking my plants. This is a alocasia fairy. I think this is a black velvet alocasia. I'm not entirely sure, it wasn't labeled. And just a reminder, those were 2 for $10. I don't entirely remember what any of these carnivores are, I just know I've got a pitcher plant, and I believe these are 2 sundews. And again, these were 25 for 3. Super happy to have more carnivorous plants because I'm not the best at taking care of them, and to get some for kinda cheap was good for me in case I killed them. And this is my Raven ZZ that I got for 20 bucks. Now we get into the dirty part of repotting everything. I like to repot in a box, that way I can keep everything contained. And I just kind of pour the dirt into the pots and then kind of mix it up in the box. It helps with kind of visualizing the portions of the peat and perlite and then any of the other amendments that I add in. This entire time I was googling what plants liked what soil mix and then kind of going based off of what I read. But everyone has different opinions on these and there's no perfect opinion. So I might not be doing it the way that you did it, but I'm doing it the way that I think I should do it, and based on what I read. You can see I tried to contain the mess and mix it in the pots, but it didn't really work, so eventually I just dump it out and start breaking it up in there and mixing it up. It is nice to use the containers that I'm actually going to repot in, that way you can just get the correct amount. I was trying to break up the roots of the carnivores just a little bit, but then I realized it had this paper thing around it, so I took that off, which I hope you're supposed to do. I'm not really sure. And then I just plopped those in. This is the end of the repotting of the carnivorous plants. Let's get into the alocasias next. Like I said earlier, I have not owned a single alocasia. So I had to do some research into what they liked. And I think I have a good mix going on. I'm not really sure. I know some like to be in ambient and some like humidity. But my theory is, if you can't survive in my ambient weather, then I'm not going to get you humidity and you can die. It's okay. It's not that I don't like taking care of my plants. It's just that I don't really have the space or the money to be getting all these fancy equipment for them, so if I end up killing these because they need humidity, that's okay with me, and it was a good try. I also see a lot of people on the Facebook page love alocasias because of the amount of corms you get, and I really want to try growing some myself. I didn't repot the ZZ because, honestly, I didn't feel like it, and I also didn't really have an appropriate pot. It also wasn't a plug, so I thought it would be okay. But here are all my little plant babies. I wish I had tinier containers, but these were the only size that I had, so they all went into that. I'm actually very pleased with how everything looked. As you can probably tell by how long this footage is, I was just so pleased with everything. It just made me so happy to go to a place where everyone there loves plants, and to be able to talk to people and see what they like and dislike, and learn from them. Of course, I watered everything in afterwards. I got my distilled water, just gonna pour it on top. I definitely think my issue with keeping these alive is keeping them in moist soil because I haven't really been doing that. These two, they also might not be getting the right soil or sun requirements. I'm not really sure. My alocasias are currently getting bath time, but I just wanted to show you guys. Here you can see I got a little growth down there. A few of them died off. I think it's the transition into this environment, but this one is doing well. Here's my ZZ plant, which has always been doing fine. And here's my other one. It has a spot on it. Don't really know what that's from. Might be from the transition, but it's doing okay. Sneak peek at some plants that I have to rework for my upcoming plant video after the next Plantmania. I do bottom water because I had fungus gnats, but now they're basically dead. I do really like the bottom water method, so I'm gonna stick with that. But that is enough of my rambling about my plants. I definitely will be making another Plantmania video and a repotting video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye!